Welcome to Storytellers with a Message. This is where I share real stories about real people. I'm Lori Grant, and I'm committed to capturing the moments and lessons that shape our lives. Together, we'll explore stories that teach, inspire, and remind us that everyone has a story worth telling. I spent the afternoon at a little restaurant today. You know the kind. You order at the counter, you go grab your drink, find a seat wherever you can, and wait for your name to be called. No servers, no refills unless you refill your own drink, and no one checking on you. Just you, your food, and a quiet agreement that when you're done, you clean up after yourself. Well, I was tucked in at a small table near the window, working on my podcast. It was one of those days where the ideas came slowly. So I was taking my time, sipping my Pepsi and watching people come and go. A pair of high school seniors sat down at the table next to me. Now, I didn't mean to overhear their conversation, but they were close enough that it was impossible not to catch pieces of it. They talked about their jobs and their schedules and their plans for after graduation. They were smart, polite, and very clean-cut. Quite frankly, they were the kind of kids their parents would be proud of. They laughed easily and spoke kindly to one another and seemed genuinely happy to be sharing a simple lunch. I liked them immediately. When they finished eating, the girl glanced at the dishes and said, "Should we clear our stuff?" The boy didn't hesitate. He said, "No, leave them." And just like that, they got up and walked away. Plates and cups and napkins and straw papers, all of it left behind on the table. And quite a bit of a mess on the floor beneath where they sat. A small mess in a place where the expectation couldn't have been clearer. There were bins labeled for dishes, bins labeled for trash, not to mention the sign that literally said, "Dishes here," with an arrow. Well, just for reference, this was not a local food joint. It was a well-known franchise. So an excuse of, "I wasn't sure what we were supposed to do," would never fly. I watched them leave, still chatting, still pleasant, and still good kids. But the table they left behind bothered me more than I expected. It wasn't the mess itself. It was the fact that they were okay to leave their mess for someone else to clean up. That disconnect, seeing two seemingly responsible teenagers, both employed and both clearly capable, was jarring. They'd been raised well enough to be polite, yet somehow they didn't feel any ownership over the space they had just used. I found that to be really weird. As I drove home, I couldn't help but wonder how that happens. How do people learn to work hard at their jobs yet overlook the work someone else has to do? Why do they treat respect like it's something to offer only when it's convenient? Now, I don't think they meant any harm, but they did notice. She asked about clearing the table. He dismissed it, and she let the moment pass. It wasn't that they didn't think, it was that they didn't think deeply. They didn't pause long enough to ask whether the easy choice was the right one, or if their choice might affect someone else. And maybe that's what bothered me. Because so much of life is made up of those tiny choices, the ones no one congratulates you for or the ones that no one sees. But they matter. They shape the kind of person you become when no one's watching. As I worked, one of the employees came by and gathered up the dishes and swept the floor to pick up the runaway napkin and the straw paper and the breadcrumbs. It's funny that I'm still thinking about it. Maybe it's because we live in a world where people often choose what's easiest over what's right. Where "I don't have to" becomes the reason not to. Where convenience quietly replaces consideration. But here's the truth. Just because you can leave a mess doesn't mean you should leave a mess. Just because something is allowed doesn't make it admirable. And just because someone else will handle it doesn't mean it's not yours to handle. I found myself hoping that someday they'll learn what today they missed. That responsibility isn't just something you show at work or to your parents. It's something you show the world. especially in the moments when you have every opportunity to take the easy way out. So here's my message. Convenience is tempting, but consideration is lasting. The world gets better every time we choose the second one. Every mess we leave behind becomes someone else's job or someone else's problem. Respect isn't just how we treat people face to face. It's how we treat the work they do when no one is looking. Sometimes the simplest act of respect is taking care of what's yours to take care of, so someone else doesn't have to do it. This has been Storytellers with a Message. If you enjoyed the show, please hit the subscribe button and leave a review on your favorite podcast app. It truly helps others find the podcast. And if you have a story to tell, I would love to hear from you. You can email me at storytellerswithamessage@gmail.com. To explore my children's books or learn more about my work, visit www.loridgrant.com. Until next time, I'm Lori, wishing you joy and peace.